Onomatopoeia versus acronym here, boys. It's Flash versus KGD. Grant KGD, not KGB, Lee Dawson, taking on Flash Gordon, aka Jared. And Jared Flash Gordon is 18-4. He's won 3 straight. Most recently, we were on the wrong end of a meatlock when Joe Selecki dropped that split decision. It was a very close fight and ultimately won in Flash Gordon's return to lightweight. That he was able to get done. And his only recent loss, I mean, he's won 4 or 5, and obviously he got smoked by Dubronx Oliveira, but he has been looking pretty good of recently, and he's taken on Grant Dawson, who, interestingly enough, is coming in off that recent draw. And it was a fight against Ricky Glenn where he won the first 2 rounds, but ultimately in that third round, he got kind of smoked. It was a clear 10-8 round for Ricky Glenn, at least on a couple of judges' scorecards, and ultimately it rendered that majority draw. And before that, the dude was on an absolute tear. I mean, if we remember all the work that he did at 145, it was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I mean, he was able to sleep your boy Meat Boy Minner dinner. He took out our boy Julian Arosta. Shout out to Debbie, and he picked up some nice wins along the way as well. So since jumping up to 155, I don't want to call it a mixed bag, but he got that KO finish to Santos, and then he again got that draw versus Glenn. But not a lot of experience, and the majority of his work he did back at 145. And we know Flash Gordon was a former 145er as well. So what are your thoughts on both these guys jumping up to lightweight? And are you taking KGD in this one, or are you rolling with Flash Gordon?
I feel like I have to go with Grant Dawson. I mean, until he loses, I'm gonna keep picking him. I mean, dude's a savage. He's been looking so great. The last fight, was a very close one, as we know. And then, Flash Gordon, he's been looking great too, but I just don't think he's gonna be faster, stronger, better all around. Like I think Grant Dawson. I think Grant Dawson's more well-rounded, more power, better cardio, etc. So it'll be very interesting to see. But honestly, wouldn't surprise me if the little upset happens. I think the odds makers kind of have it spot on. Slight favor, slight dog. Um, Very surprised to see that Tapology is this mixed. I was thinking more 60-40, 50-50, somewhere around there. So very surprised to see that. Because I could see either one of these guys getting the KO or unanimous, but I'm gonna lean on Dawson. And yeah, this is gonna be fireworks for sure.
Yeah, it should definitely be fireworks, maybe even fight of the night. And yeah, I was a little surprised by the Tapology numbers as well. I mean, I expected Grant Dawson to be getting most of the love, but the fact that Flash Gordon was only garnering 14%, I thought was a little low personally, but 86% is rolling with Grant Dawson. There's a decent chunk for Brown, some copper for the sub. Ultimately, if you're going with Grant Dawson, do you think that he's going to pick up a finish against Flash Gordon, or is Flash Gordon the guy who, is just tough enough to endure 15 minutes of a contest? And if he does, I mean, maybe that's bad news for Grant the longer this thing goes. So, do you think Grant gets it done by finish?
I sure hope so. I want to see a finish. I want to see one of these guys get knocked out. But yeah, I think Grant, he should be able to get it done. But I don't know. Flash is pretty good. His name is the Flash, so I don't know if he'll be able to hit him like that. So it'll be very interesting to see. But yeah, I kind of lean on decision, to be honest.
Yeah, nickname is the Flash. Difficult to hit for sure. And, if you flash back to, Flash Gordon's earlier story, I mean, this is a guy with a hell of a comeback, a very easy guy to root for. And he's super tough in the cage as well. I mean, he's always in close fights, but he's usually putting it on guys. And I feel like he's definitely been leveling up of recently. And ultimately, I think he's a juicy meat value stake in this one. I'm going to be rolling with Jared Flash Gordon. I just don't know if. Dawson did all of his dominant work at 145, and I don't know if he's going to be able to replicate that at 155. And if he does get this done against Jared Gordon, that wouldn't be the most surprising thing in the world. But I'm curious to see how far he can take this run at 155, because I think that his previous strength advantages that he had down at featherweight are going to be a moot point at 155. And ultimately, I think Jared Gordon is going to be the first one to really test that beyond what we saw from Ricky Glenn in that third round for sure. So ultimately, I'm going Jared Gordon. I like by decision. I just think he fights a smarter fight and is able to survive Grant Dawson and pick this one up. So any last thoughts on this one? Can't wait.
No, this is going to be fireworks. You guys don't want to miss it. Throw in the comments, you got KGD or Flash.